your boy Jay.
Jack.
How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be talking about retro games, right? Nothing after PS2, really.
We're going to PS2.
Yeah, we're going to cut off at PS2 because
end of PS2 or beginning of PS2?
End of PS2 because PS2 still had a lot of games, still
good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah, right.
And Final Fantasy X and nothing else matters.
Exactly. So we're going to talk about all the kind of retro games. I mean, if you guys want to bring up board games, that's fine too, but I'm not going to talk about them. So
I want to talk board games.
We should do one about board games. That'd be a pretty good one. We're
not talking about that's a totally different
one. So anyway, first game. So obviously, like one of the first consoles, if not the first console, is the Atari, right? That's like the only one I know is like Pong, though.
Did you ever have any Atari experience?
Not. So you can buy one of those like fake Ataris now, where you can like plug it into your.
Yeah.
As like the Atari.
Not the same thing.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
doesn't capture the essence.
It doesn't.
Of the wood trim.
My dad, we bought a couple of those for my dad because he likes video games, but he likes old video games. So we like buy him that. We bought him a Galaga one. My dad fucking loves Galaga. So
I never played Atari. I feel like I've seen one in person maybe once.
Yeah,
but I never.
At a
I feel like I was late. I was late to the game.
I think that came out before we were born.
Yeah, so one, I think I was
literally
a fetus at best.
Yeah,
but even then, I think I was just late to the game. Even original Nintendo, SNES is when I started getting involved. But original Nintendo, I barely touched.
That was like the only Zelda I've ever played was actually on the old Nintendo,
which is super solid.
Like the original Nintendo.
Yeah, the original Nintendo.
Oh, wow.
I had
the golden cartridge.
Exactly.
Yeah. It felt special being the golden cartridge.
We blurred out. We high stealth. You can't see us now. There we go. It had a gold cartridge, which was super cool, just because it had a gold cartridge.
It was Zelda and then Link to the Past, or was it the way around?
I think it was Zelda and then Link to the Past.
Okay, I can't remember. But
don't fact check us.
It was the one that had Link in the title.
Yeah,
the gold cartridge was the one that I played, and they were both good. I remember them being super cool games, but they were really hard.
Really hard.
Also, I was also young and stupid.
I watch a lot of guys, so they do like speed runs of video games from like old video games. Well, they do them of all video games, but I watched a couple of ones that I've played. I used to have the Sega Genesis. Did you ever play the Sega Genesis?
Yeah. A friend that had. I never had one, but I had a lot of friends. Or it's like, I'm friends with.
Oh, look, he's bragging. He's got a lot of friends.
Nice. No, it was I have this friend.
Friends in places.
I have this friend because he has an SNES.
Yeah. So there was a Lion.
I was popular. It just meant I was a sociopath.
I had the Lion King game, and I never beat it.
The old janky one, wasn't it like kind of weird?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
and
I remember it.
And this guy beats it in like 6 minutes. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I couldn't even come close to beating. And that's the old Nintendo. Obviously, I played Mario. I played I played that Link or the Zelda game. I played, what was the other ones I really played?
Super Mario Brothers 2, where you can actually play Mario and Luigi.
Oh, and Luigi, yeah.
Two-player. That I played an absurd amount. That was one that was probably one of the earliest actually games.
Which is not even like Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers. It's like its own thing.
Yeah, but it was the best. All the different colored Yoshis and Star Road, I love that. But that is a depressing one to play now because you can beat it in like an afternoon.
Yeah,
it took us like 3 years to get close.
That's just unfortunately very true. So that I honestly my first actual console was the Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis was great. My brother actually talked to me earlier, and he was talking about hey, what games did we have for this? And so I named like Street Fighter 2. I love Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 was the shit. You had Vega, you had a Giles weird ass haircut. Dawson, which was the
sumo
shit.
Wrestler with the whole super cheap.
Dawson.
Dawson was
he was the
Dawson
shit.
And Vega were my favorite, but I'm also fairly confident Dawson and Vega were everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Blanca.
No, Blanca.
Yeah.
I like ChunLi and Ryu. Or Ryu. However
I didn't like Ryu. This is a freaking what?
Ken was the worst. If Ken is your favorite Street Fighter character,
I didn't like
Ken.
Ken.
In the same room as you.
Yeah.
There's gotta be you have issues.
Yeah.
Because he was just crappy Ryu.
Yeah. Maybe if you
really
had
was.
like long blonde hair, and that's like I don't know.
Mm.
There was a lot of cool. Oh, you actually know who I really liked?
Tyson.
Scott. The
Scott
Muay
was
Thai
good.
guy.
The
Yeah.
patch or
Yeah.
scratch.
No, yeah,
His eye was fucked up.
Yeah.
That's all
Then
I
he had
Yeah.
like giant chest wound or hair. I don't know because
Yeah.
video games had 3 pixels. But anyway, he was talking. He's like, "Didn't we have an Aladdin game?" I'm like, "I love the Aladdin game."
Yeah.
And then I started
Yeah.
thinking about it, and I'm like, one of your main ways of attacking bad guys was throwing apples at them. Like that
Yeah.
would work.
When I was a kid, we thought they were fireballs. Because playing Mario,
Yeah.
you get the flower, you throw fireballs. So I'm like, yeah, Aladdin. Remember in the movie when he throws fireballs?
Well, either remember when he throws apples? No, he's never like,
Yeah,
hey.
just as weird. you're
Yeah,
right.
just as weird. Sonic
That was
the
a fun
Hedgehog.
game.
Sonic was a weird
was
one.
All
amazing.
the Sonic, that's one game that has not continued well.
Yeah.
Like the Mario games, they still make them to this day as Mario Party, Mario
Mhm.
Kart, Mario Galaxy. There's all the different stuff, and they all hold up pretty well. Sonic never made it to 3D. For me,
Yeah,
Sonic,
it did.
No. I mean,
Oh.
good. I mean, well.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, successfully.
When it went to the Sega Dreamcast.
Oh yeah, that one
That's
was.
when they first brought in
Yeah.
Shadow, and that
Yep.
was actually a pretty fun game.
No,
And-
I think
and-
you just like Shadow. I think the game sucked.
No, because you
No,
could
it was
also raise
Sonic
a little
and Shadow.
kitty.
Yeah.
You got a little kitty that you could raise.
So they have
forgot
one now
Creed.
similar. They have one similar to it now on the Nintendo Switch, and it's very similar to the Dreamcast one. They kind of followed it, and it's actually
really?
pretty fun. Yeah, of course it didn't take off like Mario, but it's still pretty fun.
Yeah.
I just remember like Sonic 06. Did you ever play Sonic 06?
Mm-mm.
It was like the most broken game ever. It's kind of infamously known for being like an unplayable game. It's a disaster.
So I'd play Sonic 2 and I love that game. You would jump on this little thing and a bunch of animals would go out. I have no idea what the story to that game was. I'm like, why am I releasing
I've always
animals?
tried to figure that because you're an animal as well.
Yeah. But these
Yeah.
were all like little ones and they'd bounce away and you're just like what
bunnies.
yeah, what was the point of that game?
What was Dr. Robotnik? What was his goal?
I don't know. To trap all
what was
the
he
animals?
doing with the animals?
I don't know.
That's one that I've never given a lot of thought into.
Maybe he did like a Michael Vick thing where he had like bunnies going after each other and stuff like that. God, remember Michael Vick? That was crazy.
So you brought up Dreamcast. Did you ever own a Dreamcast?
Hell no, I didn't.
It was
own a
the
Dreamcast.
weirdest console. I remember
PlayStation came out of that. PlayStation 1 came out about that time. And
it was
Yeah,
right after though.
Yeah.
Dreamcast was like the big, crazy, like now you can play 3D. Look at these graphics.
yeah.
I remember we rented one. This dates me a little bit. We rented one from a Blockbuster. We rented the console.
Yeah.
We rented that and Crazy Taxi.
I do
A
remember
Class B license. That game was the shit. I played
was.
a lot of Crazy Taxi. Still fun. Totally holds up.
I have no idea. No, that was a fun one. I do remember Crazy Taxi because I played that at like
that
arcades.
was a lot of
Yeah, they
fun.
have arcades, but
Do you remember arcades used to be a thing?
we still are. Go to Nickel Cage.
Yeah,
Hate
yeah.
that.
So two things there. Though, like Crazy Taxi, it reminded me of Paperboy. Did you ever play Paperboy on the original?
did
A
play
long time
Paperboy.
ago.
Yeah.
I had a Game Boy. Like
It was
OG
awesome.
Game Boy.
Oh yeah, with the black
I
and
forgot
white.
about OG Game Boy, man. I wasted years of my life on.
Hey, zoom. Stop zooming. Stop. I said stop.
It's not zooming. It's going out of focus.
Just
Yeah.
go hit your autofocus button and shut it off.
It's
Anyway, speaking of the OG Game Boy, I played Tetris,
Yeah.
and I think it would. So I had the original Tetris in it, and it only got to like level 14, and then it would just crash. And I
Yeah.
was on a vacation, and I traveled from here. That's worse. Yeah, you're worse.
I know. I hit autofocus.
Take your shirt off.
You want? Yeah, I hear it focuses on nipples really well. But yeah, the OG Tetris, I had that. I don't think I was ever good enough to get to level 14 anyway to
Yeah.
craft it.
And
Because I
then
played
it
it as like a
stopped.
dumb kid.
And start it over. But it's awesome. I loved it.
Old
Original
Game Boy. My
The best archaic thing of old Game Boy camera. Did you ever have that?
no.
Do you remember? It was like a big color. You could get them in 4 different colors, and it stuck out the top, and it could rotate to face you or rotate to face forward. And it was like a shitty Polaroid. You could buy a printer peripheral that came with it. It was like $100.
So I never owned a Game Boy.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
So I would always. My buddy had one. I went to a Catholic private school, the focus is going to make me
all the cool kids.
And so we would have to go to church on the first of every month, the first Friday of every month. And me and my buddy, he would take his extra Game Boy because he was super rich, and we would. He had 2 of them. We would when we were walking up, there were some bushes. We'd hide in the bushes, and that was the only time I've ever played Pokemon. Like Pokemon Yellow.
Really?
Yeah, I only played Pokemon Yellow for an hour while church was going, as I sloughed church.
Oh, I remember I
skipped it.
Got in trouble in elementary school because I was too obsessed with Pokemon.
Yeah, we didn't do that. We did the cards.
For me, the Game Boy game was pre-cards. The
Yeah.
cards was like 5th and 6th grade, I think, if I remember right, maybe 4th. But I was like in 2nd grade when the games came out. I had Pokemon Blue, and I played Pokemon Blue like crazy. I so much. I probably still have it sitting around somewhere. I don't think I have the Game Boy anymore, though. I had all of the Game Boys. I had the big fat gray one, and then Game Boy Pocket, Color, Advance. I went through the whole thing until they got to like DS, and then I kind of dropped off.
Yeah. We were, like I said, we were talking about games. Like I said, Sega Genesis was Mortal Kombat 3, like the OG.
Telling you the game.
Well, Mortal Kombat 1. Did you ever play Mortal Kombat 1?
Yeah,
Yep.
on
Great
Super
game.
Nintendo, I think.
Yeah. That was a great game.
Arcades, actually.
Oh, I do remember playing arcades.
A lot of fun.
I don't think I played much Mortal Kombat on arcades. Do you remember
Mortal Kombat 4?
My favorite arcade game was Carnival.
Oh, Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of gun games and old Nintendo, Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Yep.
My cousin had Duck Hunt, and I would go.
When you bought the original NES, it came with Mario and Duck Hunt. So you got the gun.
Yeah.
And
you got the actual guns,
gun. Yeah.
which were pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I don't even know how those worked. Like I to this day can't figure out how did it know where you were aiming.
I don't know.
Really good point.
I think it just guessed. I think it was just timing. I'm pretty sure you could point that shit in the air and it wouldn't know.
That's
no,
probably-
I think so.
What's in there? It
Well,
was
the
the
little
90s.
X, the little X is on
magic
the screen.
crystals.
There must have been a tiny man inside the gun.
Had to have been.
Until it's one of those things that I still to this day have no idea how that technology worked. It was fun.
Yeah, I love that game. That was one of my the stupid freaking dog. You're like, can I kill the dog?
Yes.
Whenever you'd miss.
I remember we thought we were so clever to put the gun against the screen to shoot.
Yeah.
Which again, I don't think it worked. But we thought we were geniuses.
If you are smart enough to know how that works, please comment because I need to know.
If you want to give me a detailed internal explanation of the guns of
and I don't want to link to some other things that you Googled. I want you to explain it without copying pasting. I will be checking your work.
Or
that was
even
a fun.
just
that
have
was a
somebody
fun-
message in how to shut the autofocus off on your camera.
I
that's
hit AF
he fixed it.
as fuck. I hit the AF button.
It says fuck as fuck.
Yeah. It was like, hey, do you want to as fuck on? And I was like, yeah.
That's
Are you talking shit to me, Fuji?
Every time you mention it, it does it. I'm pretty sure it's
Sassy
another
bitch.
game that I played a lot as a young kid who didn't understand how to play games. And I bet you the game is really easy if I were to go back. But the Oregon Trail.
Oh, Oregon Trail. Love that game. You got dysentery.
Yeah. What's the sound effect when everyone? I remember you name them after your like friends and family so you can watch them all die. And at the beginning, it's like buy your supplies. And I don't know if you did this, but I just bought ammunition.
Yeah, because then you can hunt for all the other stuff.
Yeah. Well, and because that was the real game, was the fucking like rabbit hunting simulator.
Yeah.
I didn't give a crap about dodging dysentery.
Yeah.
But it just kept making that and it would say the meat has spoiled because I always had like just pounds and pounds and pounds of meat, way more than a human should. Everybody would always die.
That's my real question is how are those games not on like iPhones? Like
I've looked for Oregon Trail.
Yeah,
they
same
have
here.
mobile versions. I remember I had one for the old like, flip phones.
I think
But
it goes.
same.
I think it goes back to what we talked about when we were talking about movies and the dragons and stuff. So when you go back and you look at retro movies or older movies, you're like, oh, really? That's kind of shit. So when you go back to an old game, you're like,
Probably not
it
fun.
was fun at the time, but it's kind of shit.
For me with video games, I don't want to go back because I feel like I'll be embarrassed that I was so bad at them.
Yes.
Again, Oregon Trail, I bet you I could just shred Oregon Trail. I bet you I would be the Oregon Trail champion right now. Back in the day, I would be lucky for one person.
That's why I don't know why I made that. Like I'm dying. I don't know. That's the reason why I want it is I want to prove that I can beat these games.
That's a good point. You could just spend a Saturday beating all the old games and just patting yourself on the back.
There was a Batman game for Sega Genesis, which was based off the one with Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Yeah.
And I never got past like the first or second level in that game. And I want to beat that game more than I want anything like to retire. Like I just want to beat that game.
We should do that. We should get a stack of games that we were never able to beat and just defeat them handily. I bet there's a few that are still like unbelievably hard, but I bet most we could just shred them and it'd be no big deal.
My mom's like, "Hey, I've got all these video games. Should I just give these away?" And I'm like, "No, those
for
are
one,
gold.
They're probably worth money.
Yeah,
but also,
at least we think.
Huh?
I said we think they're worth money, but they're probably not.
I used to also love that you could do this to like your game wasn't working. You go. And then it would start working. Now,
good old days.
Now, if your internet connection is a little slow, it's like, sorry, you can't play today. Have fun.
Just blow on.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite, speaking of retro games, and it was the Atari's Pitfall.
Oh, Pitfall. That is one that I actually know of.
That is my favorite game. I'm going to put, let's see if, I'm going to put it up on the screen because that's what I do.
I need a visual aid for Pitfall.
Yeah. That's a bunch of images.
The only thing I know of Atari is Pong.
Yeah. So they actually came up with a better graphics version. I mean, they've done it a couple times, but
Contra?
Contra
this reminds me of Contra.
The first
this is worse than Contra.
Was a lot of fun. Huh?
That little gray thing is a
here, right?
That's a log. Actually, so you're swinging over the pond, and that's a log, and you have to hurry and land, and then jump. And underneath is a scorpion, if you can sort that out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all 4 pixels of that scorpion.
And that's something I like. Our imagination caught us a lot better. Where you see something, and you would like again. There are girls in video games. I'm going to just kick my
just talk through it. Just power through.
Is like you would see pixels, and I would see like a character from it. I'm like, dude, that guy looks so awesome. And then I play it now. Like Final Fantasy VII is a great one where I'm like,
yeah,
that's a character.
Is hilarious to replay.
Yeah,
because I remember like faces of the characters, and you look back and they look like they're made out of like construction paper.
Yeah. So
it made playing the remake really surreal to see it where it's like this is kind of what it looked like in my head.
Exactly.
Another one that's going to be really Diablo 2. They're remaking Diablo 2R. Resurrected. That it's hilarious because watching the trailer for that's what it looked like in my head.
Yeah.
Diablo 2, and I played that a lot as a kid. Played Diablo 2 a lot, like a bad amount. And it always looked great to me. And looking back on videos of it now, I'm like, there's no way it looked that shitty. There's no way. And now the remake looks how I
see. I was playing Crash Bandicoot. Like they just re-released that, and so I played it, and I'm like, they didn't update the graphics. This looks the same. And then I googled it, and I was like, oh no, it doesn't. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII is a really good example of that because to me, the big blocky arms where it's just like circle, stick, circle, lump.
How long did it take them? But you know what though? They would make full games, and you didn't have to pay for them. Remember that? Remember when you would just bought a video game and you got that damn video game?
And they didn't have like a day one patch.
Yeah.
14 DLCs that cost $15 a piece.
And then I'm like, don't sell me the game if it's not done. Like, just don't give me the game. And they're like, no, we'll fix it. You're like, no,
we're working on it.
We're working on it.
Buy a beta test.
Yeah. Because I paid alpha price, but I'm getting beta game.
Alpha's worse than beta. In games, they have an alpha test, which is usually small.
Those alpha, beta, then
they beta test it, which is usually like the public.
That's so stupid.
You tried.
That is literally the opposite in like everything else.
You go alpha, beta.
Yeah, yes, in order, but the alpha is the number one.
No.
Yeah, it's the best.
Like if you're alpha rolling somebody, sure. Or like
alpha males.
If it's an alpha test,
alpha dogs.
Okay, but you're thinking like real life, but we're talking nerd. So it's alpha,
like wolves.
Beta.
I am the pack leader, and
by Why are you a
I re-
South African pack leader?
I really like that you're showing people retro gaming in your retro video here. It's really kind of gives it a nice feel.
We're gonna bring this in 16 bits.
Yeah, no, that's actually what I was trying to do. I was actually trying to make it so that we were only 16-bit.
Compress the audio. How many pixels do we get each?
Well, and that was the music on them were just absolutely
fantastic.
No, they're good.
You know what another good video game was that came out for the Super Nintendo? Killer Instinct. You guys remember Killer Instinct?
Yes.
And if you played Cinder, fuck you.
Exactly. They had like combos that were like 72 combos. It would just like murder your character. You're like, how the fudge?
I also played that at the arcade, and it was awesome.
That was the first time I ever saw a friend like flip out in a video game, like throw the controller and it exploded on the wall. Like that was the first game that I ever saw like gamer rage.
Yeah.
Was Killer Instinct. I loved Killer
Instinct. Surprisingly, the first time I saw like somebody actually get mad was my dad. And my uncle used to play video games. They were the ones that would get angry over video games. Well, it was mostly my uncle. My dad wouldn't get angry. But NASCAR. And I'm like, no, you don't play NASCAR. You fight over NASCAR. Apparently, that's something we don't play. We don't play NASCAR.
Come with rage.
Yeah, we've always played Mortal Kombat. And we were just like, oh, that's cool.
Who was your main in Killer Instinct? Who did you play? Don't say Cinder.
No, mine
Cinder was
Glacius.
Yeah, Glacius.
Yeah,
I loved Glacius.
So cool.
Glacius was the best by far.
Jade was pretty cool too. Not Jade. What was her actual name?
It was the other girl.
Orchid?
Yeah, Orchid. Or she was basically Jade from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Though.
No, because Jade was actually the ninja.
They looked like the same though, right?
No. Jade was the actual ninja guy. That was his name in the video in Killer Instinct.
In Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember him very well.
It was like a American ninja.
But I feel like I remember like half of the characters really well, and the other half are just lost to time in my head.
Speaking of it, I named my daughter after a video game character, Final Fantasy VII. It's pretty awesome. I tricked
Yuffie.
Yeah. Tifa even. But I named her Eris. It's really funny because it's like one of my favorite female video game characters, even though she dies. And
spoilers, what the fuck?
If you haven't played Final Fantasy VII, it came out in 97. It's been
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure after 20 some odd years you're allowed to spoil
I think you are.
What if people have only played the remake?
Well, then that's on you, bro. She should have already died. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah, because they're gonna make that into 23 games, and they know they have me by the balls, and they know
they could make that into 50 games. I'm like, shit, I'll pre-order it.
I'll pre-order it.
That's another thing about retro games is pre-orders, pre-DLC, all of that. Where games, you mentioned it, where you just buy a game and you own the game. That's so dead.
Yeah.
Pre-orders and all this like games coming like Cyberpunk, the whole disaster with that where it comes out, it's just like order of a game. How were the good old days?
I know. Those were some of my favorite for Genesis.
Two more really good ones. Sega Genesis. Did you ever play? This might be a weird one. I don't know, actually. I have no idea how known this is. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Did you ever play that?
No.
Brian, you got to get me a photo of this one. get something on the screen. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. It was weird. You played a guy that had 3D glasses, like the red and blue 3D glasses for no reasons, never explained.
Is he just murdering other people?
Zombies. And you had a squirt gun. And you could like jump on trampolines. You're just going around your neighborhood trying to save your neighbors. And the game was super old, so it had like 4 stock character neighbors. So there was like cheerleader, young boy, grandma, lady. That was it.
They didn't have stories back then. Again, I don't know what Sonic 2 was about.
I don't think it was ever explained.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, would this game be fun to play? Cool, throw it in and let's make it weird.
It was one of those old enough where it didn't even save your progress. At the end of every level, it would give you a password, like a code.
Yeah.
So when you get on, you would just type in the code.
That's how most games are. Most games won't give you...
back in the day, that's how it was.
Yeah, there was no save.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Blow your goddamn minds, huh, youngins?
Zombies Ate My Neighbors, though, that game needs a resurgence. It was great.
No.
It was full on great.
Let's see.
That was one of the first SNES, like first Super Nintendo games that I really got into.
Sorry. Could you put it back up? I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, I know. I've tried only like 18 times, but that's okay.
Oh no.
I'm glad I put you in charge today.
Too busy talking about the amazing game.
Oh, I do remember this. Yeah.
You could play the girl. Yeah.
What did Japanese people think that our hair looked like that in America? Because
I think our hair did look like that.
I don't think it did. Do you
At the
remember?
time, yes, it
He's
did.
also
At the
wearing
time, yes.
3D glasses, and he has the shirt from Toy Story.
So other Japanese games that portray Americans with hair that is glued up. Street Fighter,
Yep.
Yeah,
Tekken,
Guile.
Oh, Tekken. I love Tekken.
Ryan. There was that guy Ryan. He had the hair that went literally straight up. Japanese people, please tell me why. Who gave you this? That never was a thing here.
I bet you can track it to one obscure example that they just kept copying.
Yeah, it was like all of the kids in the 90s wore that.
That was the thing. No, they didn't. I've never seen that in one movie.
Okay, well, you didn't live it in real life then. Okay, here, let me show you.
I kind of did. Oh, okay, you know what? You're older. Did you see people with that?
Yes. People were idiots. They were all punking.
I remember him. Yeah. Paul.
Look at these.
Paul.
This is a perfect example of the graphics being not at all what I remember.
God, me either.
Because holy shit, that looks
But that
terrible.
chick on the right is still pretty hot.
That's the other funny thing is video game characters that you were attracted to that you have no good reason to be attracted to.
Yeah.
They're 4 pixels.
And I'm
you're
like, yeah.
Am I having an awakening?
Yeah. That was what? Okay, again, pre PS2 and before. You know what? We won't even go PS2. Let's go before that because otherwise, I know it'll just be like Final Fantasy X.
I just want to quickly mention Final Fantasy X. It probably really is what got me. That's not true. It didn't get me super into it. It got me really into Final Fantasies. I had played 7 and 8 before. 9, I wasn't a big fan, but 10 was amazing. 10 was like the first one where I really got like hardcore in the story and actually beat the game. And then I went back and really did good in 7 and 8, not just bullshitted through them. But yes, okay, we'll stick to
number one
classic.
favorite girl. Like, who was your girl crush in video games?
Oh,
before that.
You want a weird answer?
Yeah.
Weird. Diablo 2 and Dariel, the demon.
That's
she's wearing minimal. Google and Dariel.
If I'm not going Final Fantasy 7, mine would probably be the main villain of Final Fantasy 8.
It's like ultra. It had like ultra.
Yeah, or Umbral or something like that.
Yeah, one of those.
She was cute.
I keep on saying
because when I think that Final Fantasy games, they'd always have those like CGI graphics that would immediately go up, and those were super.
The FMV videos.
Yeah,
actually,
FMV. That's what I was calling.
Yeah, full motion video.
Yeah,
so stupid.
You could share mine. I post.
Oh yeah, I will. Thank you. Ooh, yes. ChunLi.
ChunLi's very soft. I mean, she's not a poisonous 4-legged demon woman, but whatever.
No, she's awesome. Have you seen that? There's that actual she's like a bodybuilder who does a ChunLi.
I saw a clip of this, I think, where she was cosplaying and did like a whole really impressive martial arts demonstration. Yeah. Yeah,
that's awesome. I think those were
another one that I know you loved and I loved because we've played it and we've replayed it and we're going to replay it again.
We'll stream it.
Gauntlet Legends.
Gauntlet Legends was amazing. Did you ever play that, Bri? Wood?
No, I don't think I did. I'm gonna look it up though.
Did you mute me? Are you looking up
he muted
the pornography?
Muted me.
He was busy.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you here, okay?
PS2 games, I've got a lot.
But Gauntlet Legends, they made it 2, wasn't as good. No one cares.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool because it had the like jester through bombs.
Yeah.
But fuck it. I like number 1. No, Gauntlet Legends 1.
What was it on?
PS1
and N64.
Yeah, it was on the Nintendo 64.
But we later on PS1.
That was another one. Do you think of
Is it I'll share a screenshot, see if this is the right one.
They made a remake of it more.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
There's the
little,
wizard.
That's the first level right there. But the little like wooden shed thing is where the enemies come out of. Oh,
yeah, you had to destroy it.
The little like generators. If you wanted to be a dick and grind XP, you'd sit and just kill the enemies without killing the generator, which usually was a bad idea.
Yeah, you might as well just keep moving forward in the game.
Just go to World 1, Level 2 and keep replaying because you get one of the Thunder Hammers and you can sell them for a lot of gold. Pro tips for a game from 1993.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I was going over. That was a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of other.
We need to replay them.
Oh, okay. Nintendo, up until the Switch, they needed to get their shit together with controls. Do you remember the N64 controller? How stupid that was?
It was built for space aliens.
Yeah.
It had the weirdest. I remember a friend.
You couldn't control it.
Yeah, and I remember the first time I was ever playing it, my friend kept telling me to hit the Z button. And I'm like, I've looked all over this fucking thing. There's not a Z button.
It was a trigger, right?
Yeah, it was down on the bottom. But I didn't even know controllers could have buttons on the bottom.
Well, and that was the thing. You had three. It was made for somebody with three hands.
You put your dick on one. Like, I didn't understand it at all.
It was
I
so
hated it.
stupid. Yes,
I mean,
there it is.
Don't get me wrong. It's a classic. And now I have a lot of nostalgia for it. But it's a terrible idea.
That was the worst control. Look at that stupid atrocity.
The like dog shit C buttons, the little arrows. In some games, you use those to like strafe and stuff. Oh my God, it was awful. Which actually brings me to GoldenEye.
One of the greatest games.
GoldenEye,
I love that game.
It's what made shooters what they are. Like all you kids with your hibbity-jibbity Call of Duty wouldn't have existed without GoldenEye.
Yeah, without GoldenEye, there'd be no Fortnite. Can you imagine your life without Fortnite? Yeah. Get your shit together. I could hardly
try.
That one was definitely...
It made first-person shooters what they are, and it was such a fun game. I really... had a blast with GoldenEye.
You know which one I was kind of so I never had an N64 either.
Coward.
So my mom,
I never did either.
My mom bought me a PlayStation and we just stuck with that one, so I was fine with. But I remember there was a game called Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that game looks so freaking cool. And then I played it when I was older and I was like, I'm kind of glad my mom didn't give me an N64.
Is it terrible?
Oh yeah, it's not great at all. It's stupid.
My first PlayStation 1, I had some like dumb board. I had like Life and Monopoly, like dumb board games. But Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Yep.
I had number like 2 is where it was at.
My brother still plays those games.
It's good.
Yeah,
Tony
he's
Hawk Pro
like
Skater 2 totally holds up. Plus Goldfinger. The music in that game, amazing.
Remember in old games they also didn't have like talking. They would just be like, and then would just have the lettering at the bottom.
The worst was Mega Man. It would just go like,
it's
just beeping. It sounded like a
Morse code.
Yeah, it sounded like Morse code, but it was super high pitched, just beeping sounds for every character. I'm like, just play nothing. Just play.
But Mega Man was a great game.
Mega Man was great. Mega Man X was great. Yeah. That was one of the first games I beat and was very, very proud of myself. I remember beating Mega Man X and wondering how many people had beaten it. I thought I was in some special group of like 10 people. It's pretty common to beat, but
and then I was speaking of like then voiceovers is then when my mom would watch me play like she'd walk in when I had like Grand Theft Auto or Max Payne on, and I'd play. And honestly, most of the game there's not a whole lot. My mom would walk in and be like, "Hey, bitch, I'll murder you!" And then I'd stab her, and I'd be like, "Ma." And she's like, "You're not playing this anymore." I'm like, "Ma, I promise it's not the whole game." No. Every time she'd walk in, though, my character would be like, "Fuck that." And I'm like, dang it.
So you're talking Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah.
But all of them were that way, though. I remember convincing friends' parents to get them Grand Theft Auto by playing it in front of no, look. It's not that bad. Like, you just drive around Miami.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Till somebody hits your car.
And then you're like, chainsaw.
Yeah. Yeah, those were bad ones. Max Payne 2. Max Payne was a lot of them where there was.
I can't believe I forgot about Max Payne.
Yeah.
Max Payne 1, amazing game. Max Payne 2, potentially my favorite game ever made. On record.
I still think 1's better. I remember my dad walked in, me and my buddy playing, and he didn't really care that much. My dad didn't give a shit, but he even thought it was brutal because in Max Payne, the bullet comes out and it shows you when it like hits them in the head. Yeah, slow-mos till it hits them in the head. My dad's like, "What the hell is going on?" That was one of the.
Oh, Max Payne 2. For one, you just fall in love with Mona. Like, Mona will break your heart.
I was surprised that wasn't your answer for like. Girl.
I didn't think of it. I mean, now like Andario can fuck off. Mona Sachs, incredible.
Yeah,
but also amazing game just in general. Like that was one of the best shooters. I had a ton of fun with that game. I'd love to replay that. Max Payne 3 was good. It was fun to play it on like more modern systems for its time. It's still old now. But if they remade Max Payne 1, 2, 3 as one game or whatever they want to do, remake some version of Max Payne and I'll play the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I love Max Payne.
One game my dad's surprisingly great at is like Madden games. He still beats like my brother. It's so funny to watch my brother and my dad play.
I could see your brother getting furious.
Oh yeah, he would hate it because my dad is actually decent at the game. So whenever my dad would beat him, he'd get super pissed, and it's always fun to watch those guys play. I love that. That's always my favorite.
Madden's back in the day, they used to legitimately come out with a new game every year.
Yeah,
they stopped doing that, but it used to be like Madden 92.
No, they still come out with them every year.
No, didn't they stop?
Nope.
Because now they just say like Madden whatever. Because it used to be like Madden 06, Madden 07.
They still that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they gave up on that. What an unbelievable schedule to try and keep.
Well, and that's the thing. Most games aren't even different.
That's the problem. Like you should just have it like DLC or patches or something.
In 2015, they brought the hit stick. It was Ray Lewis on the cover. And that would like change the game.
We're just gonna just brush over. You're like, oh well, they gave this iteration in this year.
I do remember. And then in 2006, they actually brought it was McNabb on the cover, and they actually did the quarterback. You could see where the quarterback was looking, and that gave you precision throwing to those wide receivers.
Like QB vision.
Yeah, QB vision.
Fine,
so you could switch back and forth.
I know more about Madden than I should. As someone who doesn't fucking know anything about football.
Yeah.
I don't even know what shape the ball is, but
NBA Jam.
Oh, NBA
Jam. He's on fire.
Yeah, that was a fantastic arcade game.
Did you know that they actually have a cheat in the game because of the
like permanent fire?
No. If the Pistons and the Bulls are playing and it is tied at the very last second of the game, a Bulls player cannot make a basket. They'll miss the thing and causing
that's because of back in the day, the Pistons were the bad boys and the Bulls were up and coming.
Well, and the developers were actually Detroit Pistons fans, and they didn't like the Bulls because of that, and so they actually set up a cheat that if you were ahead, you would win, but otherwise, like if it was a close game,
it was extremely situational.
Yeah, it was extremely situational, but they would make the Bulls lose, and I didn't even have Michael Jordan in it.
No,
I thought it did.
Mm-mm.
I just remember the Bulls being the best.
The later version of it did. They added him in. And then they've remade. They remade it on the Nintendo, the Wii, and it was actually you could use your hands and like.
We have dog shit controllers. The Wii, I hated the controller.
Yeah.
The worst GameCube controller.
Yeah.
What the fuck was?
It was like a Rubik's Cube. You were like
on the side, it had like a big circle and some shit around it, and it's like a puzzle. God. I didn't buy one because the controller was so ridiculous. I played it. I'm like, I'm never buying this bullshit.
You know what did you guys ever play NFL Blitz?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
NFL Blitz was a great game.
That was far better than Madden. Because Madden tried too hard to get caught up in like player stats and reality. Blitz was just like crazy bullshit. It was like NBA Jam, but with football.
Yeah, I miss games where I can have a Raiden head on my head. There was also that
Donkey Kong mode and shit. Like,
did you go off on purpose?
Nope, I'm here. Can you hear me? Oh, there we are.
I can hear you now. You went all. Yeah, you just went off.
But yeah, that was one of the first games where they started to have. Was it cheats or just unlockables?
No, it's cheats. There was always like the three things, and you could
have cheats that were just silly fun.
Yeah. Oh, I miss cheat codes.
Contra. Most of them.
Yeah.
In elementary school, we'd get the little like book magazine where you could order books through school, and everyone would order either Guinness Book of World Records, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, or game cheats.
L1, R2
was the first
R1,
one.
L1, R2, L1, L2, R1. Nope.
Left down, right up, left
down,
right.
Right. Yeah, R1, R2, L1, R2. That's what it was.
Health codes for most of the Grand Theft Autos.
Grand Theft Autos, great
just
times,
out of
good stuff.
For me, I can't say them, but I can do it on a controller.
I know. I have a place. I'm almost wondering.
You could totally do it. Yeah, it's totally muscle memory.
Good times.
Contra was like the original cheat code.
Yeah, do
you remember they used to have genies? You would put put the game in the genie.
We did that for Zombies Ate My Neighbor.
It's called a game genie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Game Genie and Game Shark, and they were a separate cartridge.
Yeah.
That you put the cartridge on top of, which actually tangent. We're really tangenting a lot.
Yeah.
But the double cartridge effect, Sonic and Knuckles. So there's Sonic 2, and then Sonic and Knuckles. And Sonic and Knuckles it had like a little flip top on it, and you could put another cartridge on top. So you could go get your Sonic 2 cartridge and put it on top of Sonic and Knuckles, and you could play Knuckles in the Sonic 2 levels.
That would be cool.
That's innovation right there. You can't do that now. Try and shove 2 discs in your PlayStation. You let me know how it goes.
I can't. I don't want to ruin my PlayStation 5.
Fuck off. You can't put discs in it at all. You got the bullshitty.
Yeah, I don't. Well, who buys discs anymore? It's so stupid. Why would you do it?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, there's no.
It's purely jealousy.
It is. Anyway, good times with games. I love those games. Those were good ones. Like I said, NFL Blitz kind of makes me sad that there's no Raiden heads that I get, because they had like the Slugfest. That was a baseball game. It was pretty much
NBA Jam, Slugfest, and Blitz are all the same games.
Yeah,
sports.
Yeah, exactly.
If you could pick one for them to remake, what would it be?
Any game?
Yeah. No, like we'll put it as like the Final Fantasy VII treatment, like where they
Castlevania.
Ooh, that was great.
That's a really solid answer.
Yeah, Castlevania was great.
Castlevania was fun. I played. There's one for the N64 where you could play a girl character that could throw like
Tomb Raider. Sorry. They've remade Tomb Raider, but Tomb Raider is great.
Yeah.
They haven't like that. You know what? Actually, scratch all of that. That was my first crush in a video game. Was Lara Croft in Tomb Raider?
Yeah,
for sure.
Mona Sachs wins, but
her. Well, and obviously her again.
Tomb Raider was one of the funniest, where the proportions are gibberish. It made no sense, but you're like, I'm attracted to this.
Yeah. And 2 pistols. She was awesome.
Yeah.
Tomb
Raider was a great game. That was one
great game.
Which also tangent, but I don't care.
You could share that. Yeah, you could share that.
For me, the first movie, guilty pleasure. I still love it.
Tomb Raider, same here.
I saw it in theaters when I was like 12. I fucking love that movie.
That was whenever people would be like, Angelina Jolie is not cute. I'm like, until in that she was gorgeous.
Plus, great villain. I loved that.
Yeah.
Flick. That movie was fantastic.
And the second one, she gets with Daniel Craig.
No. In the first one, Daniel Craig. Second one is Jerry Butler.
Oh well, then how
Jerry Butler,
how was the first one not the best ever?
Dragon shit with Rain of Fire fame.
That's true. Yeah, got all that Rain of Fire money.
But
now.
The first one, James Bond is in it, like really randomly, and it's funny because he plays like a dumb American.
Yeah,
which is very.
And she plays a Brit.
Yeah, she plays a Brit, and he plays a dumb American, and you're like, guys. I've got some news.
Yeah. Oh, good times. Good stuff.
In his terrible American accent. He's like, Laura.
So what games would you ever remake? Because I love Castlevania games. Those were a lot of fun. I honestly think that they should remake those, especially with the Netflix thing that just came out.
My answer would have been Diablo 2, but hey, they're on it.
They're on it.
So I'll say Max Payne. Max Payne. Max Payne 1 and 2. 3, I'll take it or leave it. I don't really care. It's fine. I'm neutral on Max Payne 3, but Max Payne 1 and 2, if you turn that into one remake game, I'd play it all day.
So they've come out with Resident Evil games. They've come out with a lot of really quickly, just a shout out to Dino Stalker. Was it Dino Stalker? Oh, damn it.
Oh, no. Dino something though.
Yeah.
Actually, I might just be thinking of Turok.
No. Okay,
What's the Dino game?
If you share that screen I just put up, maybe you can recognize that. Where's that from?
Oh, that's Resident Evil. Yeah. That's Resident Evil 2.
Which one is that?
I think that's 2.
Yeah, because the graphics are decent.
Oh, the voice acting got so much better with games as they went along. The first ones were absolutely. Have you ever played Resident Evil 2?
A long time ago.
Yeah, he's like, no, just leave me alone, Sarah.
And you're like, it was all dubbed.
Oh my gosh, I know.
And they just got like a terrible whoever voice actor that spoke some English.
If you could have old video game made into a movie, what would it be?
See, the problem is I'm
just Gaiden
2 for every question. But again, it's okay. Caveat. I have 2 answers to every question you're going to ask.
Okay.
It's either Diablo 2 or Max Payne. Max Payne, they tried. The key thing is tried, and it wasn't great. I mean,
Which one? Sorry, what?
Max Payne.
Yeah.
Like, come at me, Mark Wahlberg fans, but
Oh,
it was
yeah.
not Max Payne.
Yeah.
It was just a movie, and it was a fine movie, but it wasn't a Max Payne movie. It had nothing to do with it. I mean, they kind of had Valkyrie in it, but that was about it. Like, it was very hit or miss, and by that I mean it was miss.
Yeah.
But so if they made a very solid Max Payne, what you need is the neo-noir narration. The night was hot as hell. Like, that was really important to the game. And the movie just completely got rid of it. So to me, that drove me crazy. You could make a very solid movie out of Max Payne.
What was your second? So Diablo 2 and Max Payne.
Yeah, Diablo.
So I'm pretty sure is that how all your answers are gonna go?
Yes. No, but Diablo 1 I would say for a movie, because the story of Diablo 1 is better, but the game Diablo 2 is
I'm gonna bring up a favorite game of yours because it's gonna go based off of Woods, Ninja Gaiden.
That's not a favorite game of.
Well, no. I know. Hold on, because it leads me to one game, which links me to one of your favorites,
which I like because I have no idea what you're going to say. But Ninja Gaiden is a great game.
Great game. Are you talking remade, or would you want that? Because they kind of remade it a little bit on.
Yeah.
Or are you talking into a movie? Because that'd be a good one too.
Both. I think they do have like Ninja Gaiden 4 is on the PS4, but it's it didn't hit. But I would like them to make it right, and then a movie of that I think would be really neat. And a good camera on your end would be even better.
That would be great.
Was it Ninja Gaiden that had one game that randomly had that actor in it? No.
You're thinking Onimusha. Yes. Onimusha had that French actor, Jacques Le.
I love that actor. I can't think of his name, but he's in Leon the Professional.
Yeah.
Amazing actor. Weirdest cameo in a game. It's
great though. He's actually awesome in that.
I know, but it's this very like Japanese game, and then it had this like random French guy who has like a whip.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then
all right, like I'm totally on board, but I have no idea what's happening.
It got me to Samurai Warriors, which then gets me to Dynasty Warriors.
Oh yes, you're correct. I mean, it would make a dog shit movie.
Yeah,
and it make a dog shit a lot of things. It even arguably made a dog shit game. But I played like 3, 4, 5 was kind of where I was at. But all of those Dynasty Warriors was great. If you ever want to play like a powerful character that's just wrecking armies, Dynasty Warriors is where it's at.
Yeah. So I played
Lu Bu. Come on.
Yeah.
Gan Ning. I don't know. Whatever. He was amazing though.
I can't remember. What did I just call it? I just said Dynasty Warriors. What was it? Samurai Warriors? Is that what I said?
You said Samurai Warriors.
So Samurai Warriors was the Japanese version of Dynasty Warriors, and it was pretty cool. It had a character that was similar to the guy in Ninja Gaiden, whatever, and it was awesome. That great game was great.
For me, Dynasty Warriors was one of those like dumb fun where you could just play it for hours for no reason.
Yeah,
had no story, it didn't matter, nothing mattered, but it was fun. It was just fun.
Well, they made like video or movies about like Battleship. Why couldn't they?
I forgot they made a Battleship movie.
Why can't they make a Galaga one? Let's make a Pac-Man.
No, I was just about to say they made that dog shit. Why can't they make good ones?
Because I want to see Galaga. And
what would be the story of Galaga?
Yeah, the same thing Battleship would have been, but in the air.
Did you see Battleship?
No, okay, I knew it was Liam Neeson in it, and so I thought about it.
Liam Neeson, what happened? He did Taken, and Taken was great, and then he just fell in love with money.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll do whatever the fuck.
He kind of did he's
amazing. Yeah. But oh my God.
Every movie he could, it was garbage.
He'll do bullshit.
Oh, one for PlayStation 2, which was awesome. Did you ever play War of the Monsters?
I mean, you said we weren't going to go into PS2.
No, I said we weren't going to PS3. You can get a PS3.
You changed it because I started talking about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I told you we'd talk about Final Fantasy X.
Right. What's the game?
War of the Monsters.
I never played it.
You could throw a building literally through somebody's chest and they'd go.
I do kind of remember it. I think I mostly remember people talking about it, though. I don't think I really played it. You could play like a King Kong
King Kong
monster and a Godzilla.
A giant.
They weren't ever called
the biggest one, the best one in the whole game. Yeah.
It's a
praying mantis.
For those who don't know, I'm terrified of praying mantis. I have no good reason. I don't even have like a childhood
You know
trauma.
what though? I wasn't. But when you see big ones that are like 8 inches big,
scary.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
I mean, like spiders and snakes, don't care. Praying mantis, get the fuck away from me.
I'm not really on the spiders. You know what?
You can put a spider on my face.
If you're watching Spriggan, your stupid video on Facebook, she posted a video on Facebook. This girl that I call Spriggan, because her name's not a real name. She puts a video on this, and it's somebody cutting open a mask, like the masks that we wear, and then he like opens it, and a spider comes out, and I literally threw my phone like a coward, like a little bitch. I threw it, like I was like, ah! And I honestly wanted to send it to my mom because I know my mom would do the same thing.
Also throw her phone.
And I knew, but if she broke her phone, I'd feel bad, and then I'd have to pay like a couple $100 to get it fixed.
I would rather have a spider on my face than a praying mantis in the room.
Not even close.
And
Same with snakes.
I mean like a viciously poisonous spider on my face rather than a praying mantis in the room.
Yeah,
if someone just said there's a praying mantis in the room, I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Snakes for me. Well,
I would rather all of them.
I
would rather wrestle 50 snakes than be in the same room as a praying mantis.
I'm scared of a lot of animals.
I have a couple of irrational fears. Praying mantises, mannequins. That's about it.
We're getting close to the end anyway. We should do one on irrational fears.
That's good. Yeah, I just said a couple of mine. So praying mantis, mannequin.
We're actually gonna stop there because we're not gonna keep talking about
it's
irrational fears.
A taste of things to come. Which classic game?
Potato bugs. Do you remember? Oh my God! Don't you remind us?
I always think of the little roly-polies.
No.
Well, no, that's the thing is, I remember this. Okay, this is a bunch of stories, but I remember the little roly-polies. So you found one with some friends and put it in a water bottle. And you guys texted me, you're like, yeah, we found a potato bug. And I'm like, yeah, the little roly-poly things. Like, who fucking cares?
Well, it looks like an ant.
They're giant, though.
They look like giant ants.
Well, they're really similar to camel spiders. Like, if you Google camel spiders and potato bugs, they're almost the same. The legs are just a little bit different, but they're really similar bugs. Sometimes the Jerusalem crickets. They're fucking terrifying.
And they
can, like, chew through mesh, and they can, like, climb walls.
And they'll lay their eggs in your butthole. Real story. Google it. No, that's a legitimate thing. That's why we were so scared. And that's when I found out that gasoline, you can't put out a gasoline fire with water. It'll spread.
Just not safely.
Yeah, no, I didn't put it out though.
We poured almost water
burned down my dad's house.
It was only terrifying for a second.
Oh my God, we lit it on fire and sent it to hell. It was so scary.
I was really afraid that it was going to crawl out of
and then
like
it would
on
be
fire coming towards you because it's like, oh, now it's going to multiply. Or like
now it's a firebug.
Exactly. It's got a +1. It's evolved.
Thanks. Now I won't be able to go to sleep tonight.
As long as it's not a praying mantis, I don't care.
Oh my God. Anyway, we'll do one on irrational fears. So think of your irrational fears. And next time we get on at Wednesday, usually around 9
and retro games, 10. If you've got a big disagreement on a retro game, or tell us what your favorite is or what you would like remade.
Also, like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch.
All the things.
All the things. Just like us on all the things.
If anything has a thumbs up or a subscribe or anything like that, hit the button.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
You know what to do. All right, guys. Anyway, have a good night and keep nerding out. And we'll talk to you guys next Wednesday. And I'll fix the camera. I'll fix this damn camera.
Tune in next week to see if he fixes the camera.
He probably will.